Nestled deep within the Japanese countryside, the village of Akiyoshi slumbered, a place where time seemed to move at a slower pace. Ancient trees whispered secrets to the wind, their branches reaching towards the weathered rooftops of traditional houses. One such house, with its sliding shoji doors and worn tatami mats, stood silent, awaiting the arrival of its new inhabitants. The Sato family, seeking refuge from the bustling city, had chosen this quiet village as their new home. Little Hana, a girl of 7 with eyes as bright as the morning sun, was particularly enchanted by the old house. She saw magic in its creaking floors and mystery in its shadowy corners. As the family settled in, Hana explored every nook and cranny, her small hands tracing the patterns on the faded wallpaper. The house seemed to breathe around her, whispering tales of generations past. The attic, a dusty haven of forgotten treasures, held a particular allure for Hana. Amongst the discarded furniture and forgotten belongings, Hana stumbled upon a small wooden chest tucked away in a dark corner. Its surface was intricately carved with delicate floral patterns, faded by the passage of time. The chest was secured with a simple brass latch, which yielded with a soft click. Inside, nestled on a bed of faded silk, lay a doll, its porcelain face frozen in a serene expression.
Wow, look at you, you're beautiful.
The doll was dressed in a traditional kimono, its colors muted by age. Its dark glass eyes seemed to follow Hana's every move. Hana felt an inexplicable connection to the doll, a sense of familiarity that she couldn't quite explain. She gently lifted the doll from its resting place, cradling it in her arms like a precious treasure. As Hana carried the doll downstairs, a sudden gust of wind rattled the shoji doors, sending a shiver down her spine.
I'll call you Kiku, after the flowers in the garden.
She carried Kiku everywhere, whispering secrets into its unhearing ears. But as the days turned into weeks, Hana began to notice strange occurrences, unsettling events that seemed to revolve around the presence of Kiku. The first incident occurred during a stormy night. Hana awoke to the sound of soft whispers coming from the corner of her room. She sat up in bed, her eyes wide with fear, peering into the darkness. The whispers seemed to emanate from Kiku, who lay beside her on the pillow. Hana quickly turned on the bedside lamp, the sudden light dispelling the eerie sounds.
Who's there?
The whispers continued, growing more insistent, more chilling. They seemed to weave themselves into Hana's dreams, filling her sleep with unsettling images. One night she dreamt of Kiku, its eyes glowing red, its porcelain face contorted in a malevolent grin. Hana awoke with a scream, her heart pounding in her chest.
Hana, what's wrong? It's Kiku, Mom. She's whispering to me.
Hana's mother, Mrs. Sato, initially dismissed the whispers as the product of an overactive imagination. But as the strange occurrences continued, she began to feel a growing sense of unease. Objects would move inexplicably, doors would open and close on their own, and a chilling coldness would often permeate the air.
It's just an old house, Hana. There's nothing to worry about.
The atmosphere in the house grew heavy with a palpable sense of dread. Mrs. Sato found herself constantly looking over her shoulder, her nerves frayed by the unsettling events. The once welcoming home had become a source of constant anxiety, a place where shadows seemed to hold secrets and whispers echoed in the silence. Mr. Sato, a pragmatic man of science, remained skeptical of the strange happenings. He attributed them to the creaky nature of the old house and the power of suggestion. However, even Mr. Sato's skepticism began to waver as the incidents escalated. One evening, as he sat reading in the living room, he heard a distinct giggle coming from the hallway. He looked up, but there was no one there. The giggle echoed through the house, chilling him to the bone. The turning point came when Mr. Sato witnessed an object move on its own. He was in the kitchen preparing dinner when he saw a teacup slide across the counter. The teacup shattered on the floor, the sound echoing through the silent house. Mr. Sato stared at the broken pieces, a cold dread creeping into his heart.